The following is a review of the comic and should not be looked at as an endorsement of the creators involved. If you really think that, you should get yourself checked because you are reading things into it that are not there. Also, the quality of this video is pretty low, so if you're expecting higher standards, go check out someone else. What you see is what you get. So thank you and enjoy, or don't.
Hey guys, StarCraft here, and like I said, I'll be going over the last of the three Alterna ending stories. Alternaverse, sorry, ending story. And this one is the Last Avengers Story by Peter David and how do you say the guy's name again? And Ariel Olivetti, who's always had an interesting style, but this was definitely the precursor to all the other The End stories, where everything is just bitter and all that. But yeah, it opens up right away. Let's just dive right in with this robot, later known to be Ultron 59, shows up as he's walking through, and then he places a book that says The Last Avengers Story. We then open up on the current team of Avengers. No, don't even bother wondering who they are, because in the end, it really doesn't matter. These guys are just talking, and they're all so full of themselves. And a nuke is dropped right on top of them, and well, kablooey. And everyone's wondering what's going on. Turns out the Avengers, this point group of the Avengers have made a big name for themselves, way too high public figures. Then we focus on Hank Pym, who's the main focal point of the story, as he's just, he and Janet have remarried, and yeah, they're just having their usual bantering. But then it turns out Jan's been slowly shrinking an inch a year, so she looks tiny compared to him. News media shows up, pester him, ask him what do you think about the deaths of the Avengers. Jan tells him off. I do like this bit though. She blasts the chair and says, although your little demonstration incinerated my favorite chair. Well, now's a good time to tell you, and as any to tell you, I never liked that chair. And right when they're thinking like the Avengers are gone, Ultron shows up and tells them this is it. This will be the ending. I'm preparing for a final battle. Of course, Janet's ready to go in for a final attack, but Hank says no, because we're not going to do it last long, and if we die, no one's going to be able to tell them what happened. We then meet up at Ultron, meeting up with sorry about that, with Kang, and it turns out they're working together. We also have this other villain known as the Oddball. Never really heard of him, but he's this big, strong powerhouse, as well as a new version of the Reaper, as they're all just preparing for their big attack. And throughout the rest of it, we then start to see more and more about what's happened here. We also meet up with some other heroes like Cannonball, among others, as they're reminiscing about the final battle they had. Well, because apparently there was a point where they went in and did a big fight with with a bunch of gods, and Hulk was left devastated. We also meet a woman named Bombshell, and it's believed that Hercules was her father. We don't really know. But yeah, they're basically gathering up everyone they can. Then when that's like, what do you do about She-Hulk? Well, we don't get She-Hulk. We get Jessica White, Wingfoot, and then the daughter of Jen and White Wingfoot, who basically has both of her parents' abilities. When she meets up with Hank, she gives him a kiss right on the lips. And basically, again, we start getting more, just them just talking, catching up on old times and all that, explaining what's been going on. We find out how Reed is basically stressed so much that he needs a brace to operate, and Doom is of no use to help him out at all. His brain is pretty much gone. We meet up with Mockingbird and Hawkeye, And yeah, neither of them want to have anything to do with it, because they still remember what happened back then. Turns out Wyatt died before his daughter was born, and Jen just took off. But yeah, Bobby then explains what happened. While they're in their fight was Ultron 19, which was the last one they dealt with, it became lopsided when the Hulk switched sides. Turns out the times there made Hulk completely evil. He killed Tigra, ripping her right in half. When he even says, "Hey, Wonder Man, make a wish." Yeah, that sets off Wonder Man as he just wails on the Hulk. Just pounding into each other until the Hulk finally breaks him, and then he holds on to Hulk, and Wonder Man holds on to Hulk and blows up, taking the Hulk with him. As Hank is then remembering one of the times where the heroes were told to round up all the criminals. Once they did, they were all executed. The criminals, I mean. And Hank felt just so horrible. And Cap tries to tell him, like, make your choice. And yeah, there's a funeral for Cap because it's believed he's dead, etc. And they're just like, we gotta go find the Vision. It's how we end the first part. The second part involves them, asking about some of the other, some of the other Avengers. We're also introduced to the current Sorcerer Supreme named Tommy. But yeah, Black Widow, crippled. Black Panther, dead. Quasar, insane. Wildman, dead and insane. Pardon? Don't ask. Oh, okay, Spider-Man. I called him. Forget it, Hank. I'm too old to put on the tights and swing out to fight the bad guys. Besides, I promised her I'd give it all up. I have a responsibility for her. And it's like, your wife wouldn't his wife wouldn't let him go. Yeah, turns out he had a son named Ben and all that, and MJ, yeah, she's not gonna let him. And but yeah, we continue on with meeting up with others. We deal with Johnny Storm. Turns out this one would be, oh, you married a Skrull. Then apparently, like, oh, I later married your mother, the real Alicia still. Yeah, trying to undo that reversal, huh, Peter? As again, we just deal with so many other things. As again, we're just building up. On Strata Oldest, it just built up to this final confrontation. As it's now made very, very, very clear that Tommy and Reaper are Wanda and Vision's twins that were taken from them long ago. That much is very, very clear. As we also see, they're still trying to find the Vision. No luck. Until soon, it's finally time for the big attack. As Johnny's taken out, among others. Yeah, it's basically their final, the Last Avengers Story. As they are all coming in for a fight, just throwing in everything they can. Hold on. Oh yeah, Jessica is killed. And She-Hulk's daughter. She's killed, and people are just falling like flies left and right. As they're trying to do everything they can. Cannonball gets in, and yeah, again, everyone is just fighting everything. But the villains were prepared. They were ready for everything. Until eventually, well, they kill off Oddball finally. And during all this, again, they just keep on slaying into people. It just continues on. You have Mockingbird and Hawkeye rejoining the fight. Janet's knocked down. We get a flashback to years ago during Hank and Janet's remarried event ceremony, where Quicksilver, Vision, and Wanda were having an argument, as we're seeing Vision just nearby reacting to everything. Hold on. But yeah, Hawkeye is knocked off the building. He's dead. And now eventually it's ready for a final showdown between Ultron and Hank is shot right in the back. And this is where the big moment happens. As because Kang did it because like I'm predestined to win. Ultron goes off base saying, I set this all up. You decided to finally just go off the and to toss the book away. I give you the ultimate plan and you blew it. I wrote it to manipulate you, to take advantage of you. As he and Janet both take out Kang together. As well, no, they take him down first. Then, yeah, Janet kills Kang by shooting a full-size version of her blast right into his eyes. And then, yeah, Ultron is continuing on. Oh, should I say Johnny's not dead, my mistake. But yeah, things are just getting worse and worse as everyone is fighting. You have, because the boys were the twins, Vision is watching, he's conflicted. Ultron is growing in size. As we then find out how Quicksilver years ago ran towards Vision, and Wanda got right between them. The impact killing her. As then Quicksilver ran and committed suicide, tossing himself off a cliff. As because without him, Vision just took off, leaving their boys to separate and become worse. So he finally shows up to confront Ultron, and this is their next final battle. As Vision goes intangible and fuses with Ultron, killing them both. After everything that's happened, after all of it, they're all, they're all just mourning and everything. As we then find out how, Hawkeye is still alive. He just fell right off. Just so many different people dead, and it looks like Hawkeye and Janet are the only ones left. But turns out there's a little bit of hope left. It turns out there is an Avengers story, Last Avengers Story being written by a still alive and recovering Captain America. So yeah, not the grandest Avengers story ever, but for it being what it was and being a precursor for the end, it's a pretty damn good one. It's all over the place. Really hard to summarize it, to be honest, but it's still really damn good. And I highly recommend, if you guys can ever find these, to check them out. Peter David put a lot of thought in this. Although again, some of the stuff in here feels like, oh, I'm not happy where direction some things went, so I'm going to undo it for the sake of my stuff, like putting Hank and Janet back together, having Wanda and Vision still have their twins, having be that Johnny still married Alicia, even though I personally find that was still stupid, etc., etc. And for having Ultron manipulate Kang and then Kang going off script feels very typical villainy stuff. But the way some characters went off were just punked, and some were, went off like Hulk. If the Peter David doing all the stuff with Hulk and everything, Hulk went evil and everything, things like that just feel a little off. But at the end, though, it was a grand finale. You have their two greatest villains, Ultron and Kang, plus a few others working together, and they end up being the final ones. And in the end, it's just down to two, with Cap possibly coming back to restart everything. Who knows? So, what else can I say? But that's the story. Tomorrow, I'm not sure which the end I'll get to next, but until then, I'll catch you guys later.